Today I'm starting with a small story. It's a story regarding couple, very loving husband and wife. So in this story, the wife is suffering from a disease and she's in the deathbed. So they are very loving couple. So wife said to the husband, "You please promise me after my death you never marry anyone." So husband at that intense love and intense feeling of separation, that husband promised that yes, I'm not going to marry anybody till my death. Only person in my heart and my mind is you. You alone exist. Okay, the wife departed, that soul departed, all that things are gone. After 1 to 2 years, he keep on with his promise. But after 2 years, he feel lonely. He wants some friendship or he wants someone. So what happened? He decided, okay, anyway, it's a promise. Anyway, 2 years already completed. Okay, let's enjoy or another marriage. So he selected a woman and they both married. Interestingly, after marriage, the moment he is enjoying with his new wife, suddenly, because before death, the wife also said, "When you marry someone, I will come in a ghost form and kill you." So that's also happened. I forgot to share it. So after marriage, every day, whenever he is with his new wife, the old wife soul is coming, ghost is coming, spirit is coming, and started saying, "I am going to kill you, or I will kill her." So he is so disturbed. He said, "This is not going to work." So he know that there is a Zen master in a long village. So meet that Zen master, and I want to heal this issue, because every day whenever he is with his new wife, this old wife coming and doing lot of mischief. So what that Zen master said, so Zen master asked so many questions. When that wife comes, whatever the things that wife is telling you, so he said, my wife is telling about my new wife, Sari, new wife events, moments, everything she is telling. So the Zen master gave a gift box, and he said, in this box there are so many coins inside the box, and you never open this gift box. You never going to open it. But whenever your wife come, you just ask how many coins in this gift box. Okay, that's it. So he go back. He go back. He is happily okay. Anyways, Zen master is going to do something mischief. So you go back again. He is with his new wife. The ghost wife, the ex-wife is coming. Immediately he asks this question: "How many coins in this gift box?" So the moment the question he asked, that ghost disappear. Whenever that ghost come, he simply asks this question. The ghost is disappearing. So he feels, wow, wonderful. Then he come back to the Zen master and said, the ghost is disappeared. So Zen master simply laugh. Why that Zen master laugh? That's a question also. How that healing happened and why that Zen master is laughing? That's my question. First question.
Sir, this is the guilt of the first husband, the husband, where he was feeling that he
One
has
minute,
been.
1 minute. Who is talking?
Sir Gaurav, sir. Sir
Yes,
Gaurav.
Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav. Come.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You can on your video so that.
Yes, sir. Namaste, sir. Sir,
Yes.
this husband subconscious was feeling guilty, conscious about having betrayed her first wife, and his own mind was playing with him, feeling that he is supposed to be punished because guilt means that I deserve to be punished.
Hmm.
And when the Zen master, put the coins in the box, and he did not know, the husband did not know, so his mind did not know. So whenever he asked this question, he has no clue, and he received no answer from the supposedly ghost of the old wife. And that is how we create our own reality out of our own subconscious patterns and memories and our own value system.
Wow, Gaurav, that's amazing, wonderful. Thank you so much. So, all the ghosts, all that spirits, whatever we are calling as an external powerful entities, sometimes they only come when we give permission. So understand that the bigger dimension, that higher Brahman or that Tao, it's a full of unconditional love. It's not going to harm anyone. So suppose you in your mind that someone is going to harm you, it's because something which already Gaurav said about some guilt consciousness or some fear consciousness or any uh, shame consciousness, grief consciousness, those types of lower consciousness is playing that trick. So we don't need to obey any external entities because there are a lot of entities they are trying to catch your attention even when you are in spiritual realms. But on that time, understand that they only can entering you through this doors like guilt door, shame door. Once you heal those doors, nobody can come and punish like this. The same ghost because they only know whatever you know. So your consciousness is much bigger than anybody, any other entity's consciousness. So trust your consciousness is today's first message. Then only the divine energy flow through you. So dear friends, today's first lesson. So once you like the story, you can say yes in the chat box so that I can know how many of you like the story and how many of you understand the story. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, wonderful. Great, friends. Amazing. Yes. So yesterday we discussed about the divine energy flow and the first sutra abundance, second sutra flow. First we need to understand that all the abundance are blocked by fears. Whatever the fear we are holding, unacknowledged fear. Fear means normally we all have certain fears are in our life, but mostly when we are not acknowledging the fear, basic thing we need to understand is acknowledgement is always important. When we ignoring or when we deny any fear, that fear is empowered. So whatever the fear comes to you, please acknowledge it. Yes, I have this fear. That's it. Then the Sutra of Abundance and the Sutra of Flow is always blocked with guilt. Whatever the guilt consciousness you are holding. So that's again you need to be acknowledged. When there is a guilt, you need to know because you are holding that guilt in different ways. So more you jump into it, more you explore it, more you can understand the real wisdom out of that guilt also, and the flow is blocked by guilt, and our attentions are always blocked by our shame consciousness are blocking our attention, and our intentions are blocking our by our grief, the grief as well as the hatred can be hatred towards oneself and towards others. When we are holding certain hatred energy, the intentions become distorted and also the grief. So next is Shunya. Shunya can't be enjoyed when you are in lie, when we are telling lie. For example, the greatest lie we are telling to ourselves is there is no choice. We are in a victim consciousness, or this entire life is a trap, or the life is a struggle. All these are lie. We need to connect to the truth of the life. More we connect to the truth, we can experience the energy flow. And the sutra of allowing. In this space, illusion is the reason. whatever the illusion. Suppose some lot of people I see, uh, one client, for example, I can share you about a client. Okay, one girl, she is in teenage. She comes because she always seeing some demonic figures, and she's suffering from obc, lot of, because there are a lot of interesting name for all the disease. So normally I didn't like names, because once we give a name to anything, our mind attached to that name. Because even the lot of people become cancerous because the name is wonderful. We are giving some good name, cancer, that's a name, very interesting name, because our mind can easily attach to those names. So all the psychiatric illness is one way we need to understand. Even if there are doctors in the group, please understand that one of the major reason of all the psychiatric illness is the name which we are giving. We give that wonderful names like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, because certain patients also feel like it's like an Oscar award. They also enjoy with the name. Even one person shared to me that I am having depression. When the depression comes to me, I feel low. Why this is so? Why this depression is coming? But certain people will so happy because I am also having some depression. It's like an Oscar award. It's like a big award in their life. So these are the trap in the life. These are called illusion. So that girl is in that greater illusion because of demonic figures, because of ghosts, because of spirit attachment, and she is reading so many books about this. So I just asked her when this starts. So immediately she said about the day this starts. Okay, again I asked, what is the thing which happened just before? When this ghost appear, before the ghost appear, what happened? Then she said, so many excuses said. Then I said, I'm a very open heart person. I'm not going to judge you. Whatever you share in the world, I can take it in that right sense. So please share whatever it is. I'm not going to share with your parents also. Then she said, I'm watching in a TV, in the TV channel. There immediately she has some curiosity. She attend the fashion channel. In that fashion channel, she saw someone in a nude posture. Immediately, in her curiosity, she again attending it. But spontaneously her sister enter into that room, and sister says, what you are seeing? You are a ugly person. You are not good enough. That sister is so angry, and sister say, I am going to tell to the mother. That's it. Immediately she feels I am not good enough. Immediately she feels I am a bad person. Spontaneously she shift into a illusion. It's a clear case I heard, but someone they still enjoy their illusion. Again, there is a case happened to me. That person always in illusion, always like to be in illusion. One day I just say, okay, when you are continuing with this illusion, what I am going to do is, next time when you come to meet me, I will kill you. Because of I did all that therapies. His parents are spending so much money, everything, but this person is keep on circling in the same way. It's a very comfortable zone. So I just say one word, that next time you come here, I definitely going to beat you. I definitely going to kill you. I show my full anger with you. That time she is so irritated, but interestingly, after that I met his parents and asked what is going to happen. So they said he's now going for job. He is so enjoying. So some people really need some beat. That's why all the Zen masters are in the world. So understand that we need to beat ourselves. When our mind has a condition to go in illusion, illusion is the greater disease of our third eye. When we are in illusion, even our third eye is distorted. So sutra of allowing only happen when we need to go beyond the illusion. So whenever you are a therapist, don't allow the persons who are stuck in their illusion. That is creating karma for you also. That's a way it is working when we encourage the illusion all the time, because we need to cut the illusion. That's very important.
Sir, can you please repeat this thing? Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. This is Sir Gaurav speaking. Can you please repeat this aspect?
Can you type Gaurav question, because it's
Yes,
stopped
sir.
here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please type the question. Then the seventh sutra is sutra of gratitude. We need to feel the gratitude because a lot of the time people feel the life is meaningless, and a lot of the time we feel a lot of attachment to the life. In those situations, gratitude to our own each moment, the gratitude to our life, even with small things, whatever. Suppose today we can communicate through this wonderful medium. We need to feel gratitude to this medium. Yes, the Gaurav question. Can you please repeat the point of cutting the trap or illusionary? Clarify, please. That's only happening with check the reality check. All the time we need to connect to the reality in the ground level. We need to accept certain fact as it is. Don't distort our facts. Whatever your true authentic feeling, accept that authentic feeling as it is. Because most of the time our fear creates the illusion. Our free fear like to go beyond. Because suppose I am not ready to face something, then my mind says the better way is to create some illusion. So we go to certain types of illusionary methods. Okay. So today refining your reason, all these things happen once we clear our channels. More we clear our channels and refine the reason always work when we start seeing the life from a consciousness view. When we see the life from the in this view, we can't understand the big picture. Big picture only come when we see the life from the aerial view. Why these relationships, why the purpose of all these moments, everything will be come to you once you see from the consciousness view. You just think like a consciousness. Suppose I am a consciousness, then what is the purpose of this moment? Okay. Yes, I'll share about anxiety and depression soon. Thank you, Gaurav, for that question. So today, the ninth lesson is called Follow Your Inner Voice. So this time we need to understand there are some outer voices. There are some other voices. That ghost voice, already I talked about the story. Because we have our guilt is having its own voice. Our shame is having its own voice. Our grief has its own voice. So we need to be empty to understand our inner voice. First thing we need to understand and check our inner voice with five soul principle. Suppose your inner voice is telling you to kill someone, understand that no, your higher self never going to tell you to kill anybody because your higher self is like non-violence. So once we check the message with our five principles, when the message is clear with non-violence, okay, tick, then is it true? Truth means it has its own choices. There is no adamant way of inner voice, do like this. There is no n number of possibilities always exist with inner voice. There is no one method. So many methods are there. That is choice is there. And the three is we can redirect the energies because there are a freedom of redirecting. There is no way of stuck the energy. When the voice come and you feel your energy is stuck or your energy need to move outwards, then energy losing, when you feel your energy is losing, that is not an inner voice. When it is an inner voice, you never feel your energy is losing. Most of the time we feel a gain of energy. And the third thing is, it's not communicate to steal anything. Stealing somebody's knowledge, stealing something from the universe. They never ask to steal because our inner voice always is abundant in nature. It always aligned with the principle of abundance, and it is always aligned with the principle of non-possessiveness. Your inner voice never say you to possess someone, something, or anything to possess. Your inner voice never say to possess anything. Your inner voice always like to be in a detached state. Yes, most of the phobias are also illusion that you understand once you face it. Because once we face any illusion, there is a question comes, that's why I'm answering, is phobias are illusion. Most of the phobias are illusions because we are not facing it. Illusion means we can't face it. Once we face it, we can come out from the illusion. For example, people are fearing water phobia. Maybe that water phobia is coming out of a past life experience. The moment you face that experience, I'm not saying that it's an illusion and leave it. No, we need to check. We need to find the real reason behind. That's the way only we can come out from the illusion. We need to go to the real reason. Suppose you are fearing height. Maybe when you go back in time, you realize that, okay, you are falling from a cliff. So, from that cliff situation, that fear comes to you. It can be from a past life event, it can be from our inner child event, or it can be from a past 2 weeks back event, or just one moment back event, anything. But we need to go back. That's called regression work, is always important. We keep on going back in time, where it is exactly from where it is coming to you. Through that check, through that refining the reason, help you to understand what is your insight on claustrophobia, fear of small spaces, or all phobias, whatever the phobias. There is a real reason behind. We need to open that reasons. Okay, it's a vast subject, so I'm not entering deeper into this moment. We can discuss, definitely we can discuss later. So, following your inner voice means first another lesson is also important. What if two choices are there which are equal? Yes, yes. What if two choices are there which are equal in five principles? Then how can we determine the right choice? That's what I am talking now. That's what. It's an interesting question. Thank you. That's where the 10th lesson is also important. Before 10th lesson, I will just share the three ways to activate our inner voice, how we can activate our inner voice. First way is ask. Keep asking to the universe for clarity and clear vision. Once you ask, suppose you feel that yes, it's an inner voice. Okay, I'm feeling an intuition. Recheck it. You again ask for the clarity of the vision. Sometimes that clarity clearly come in front of you. You need to ask it. So for that, you need to allow your inner eye to open, allow your inner ear to open, inner listening ability, and your inner feelings need to open. So I will explain more in the next lesson. And next method is called seek. Keep on seek to recognize the truth in this very moment. Suppose an intuition come, because intuitions are always which aligned with our moment by moment. Moment by moment it is aligned. So we need to check it. I will share an example from my life so that you can understand it better. And then another is knock. Knock the door of inner wisdom. So now I like to share one experience from my life so that you get little more clarity. Uh, there is a program happened in every 2 or 3 years. It's called Past Life Regression Convention, happening in India by conducting by Dr. Newton and the Life University. So one time I am also has an interest to be a presenter. Actually, there is no topic or anything in my hand. Simply, I feel to present because I already share I like to be in adventure. So there is new adventure, a new realm to explore. So what happened? That's an intention. My intention. First, always you behind every inner voice, there is an intention there. So I always know my intention. I want this. Okay. So one day, this inner voice come in a very seeing way. One day, I am getting an email. Email that yes, we are searching for the presenter, and when you are interested, you can also send your details. Okay. So that email comes. The moment email comes, I just sit. What is the topic I'm going to do in this situation? Immediately a topic also come. Okay, everything resonated. I'm excited. Okay, this topic, and I know what is going to happen there. It is the top. Their topic is big picture. So I need to align with this big picture about my topic, and I'm so excited. But In my life, for whatever the technical, especially language based work or computer based work, I need the support of my wife because I am so poor in all those things. So I keep wait because my wife is in some camp and I'm waiting for my wife to come. After my wife come, yes, I'll share. After my wife come, I shared this. So the moment I shared this, she immediately asked, okay, you show me that email. Interestingly, once I start checking the email, there is no email. There is no email in my account. And I called, are you sending an email? They are not sending me the email. So there is no email. But I talked to my master. This is the situation. What I need to do. He said, "Okay, you just send. You send me the proposal. Definitely, you send me." Immediately, I send the proposal. What happened in that time? Already it is set. I got the email, and in that email, it's December 30 is the last date. But actual last date is December 1. It's already gone. And once I shared it, there is no seat. But interestingly, one person, she can't do that presenter at that moment due to certain issues. She quit from that presenter. Immediately, I am entering into that space. It's a real clear cut inner voice in the seeing level. But I check everything about how this principle about the non-violence. I'm not violating anything. It's only my love is there. There is truth is I have the choice. If they agree, it's okay. If they are not agreeing, still I am okay. There is no particular big emotion in that because I am only in the mode of happiness and excitement and joy. That's my state at that moment. So I am not going to steal anything. I am not going to be possessive towards that. It's a very playful, adventurous mode. That is the way always inner voice work. I just share one experience. I hope you understand it. Otherwise, I'll share it once more later. So we need to knock our inner wisdom. Actually, it helped me to knock our inner wisdom. That topic also is really helping to open it. That topic I am sharing in the next lesson is called open your heart. We need to open our heart. More we open our heart because our heart has the ability to contain all the emotions as it is. Most of the time we denied so many emotions. We like happiness, we like joy, we like good things, but we denied anger, we denied sadness, we denied jealous. But we need to understand our heart is such a big place to hold everything as it is. So more and more we respect the ability of our heart, more and more we can understand our inner voice in a perfect way. So healing our heart is very important. Beautiful, inspiring. Okay. So in the heart, always heart is completely because this space is called Hridaya Akasha in Sanskrit. Hridaya Akasha means heart space. That's the topic I did also in that seminar or in that conference. So this is one of my favorite topic. Open your heart is the lesson, which is an amazing lesson. Open your heart and fall in love. Completely enjoy our life in love. So I'll share more details now. So this is space called Hridaya Akasha. This space is normally when you say about you say that I am, where you like to touch and say I am. When you say I am, for example, I am saying I am Rupesh. I touch here. I'm not saying that I am Rupesh or I am Rupesh. No, I touch here. Everyone, even kindergarten, I did the experiment. I want to know, even they are not they are just new in this world, how they respond. I just ask, you say by touching your body I am, immediately they are touching I am. Everyone like to touch. Only certain teenagers will challenge it because they're just challenging just for the fun, not for the real reason. Yes, Gaurav, I will do it. Hridayagasha in English, definitely I'll do it. Sure. But not recently, I need some more time. So opening the heart means open our heart space. This space is completely, this is the space of our individual consciousness resides. So through this space, we can easily connect to our five soul principles like non-violence, because this space doesn't like violence. Even when you hurt someone, because I see in my, when my child in the kindergarten time, he unconsciously in some angry he just bite one of his friends, but every night he wake up and he is crying. I bite that his name is Shri, so he keep on saying I bite that Shri, I keep bite that Shri, crying. That time I realized that this is our real consciousness. This is our real individual consciousness. We don't like to hurt anyone in this world. So I literally experience it. And I say, okay, we can go to his home, we can say sorry, whatever we can say. Then we go, we as a family we go to their place, and their parents are there. And after he share, I'm sorry, it's a mistake, then both of them are very good friends. He in his kindergarten, I'm saying in his kindergarten, he don't know about the law of forgiveness, he don't know about anything. But that is the nature of our consciousness. We don't like to hurt anyone. And at the same time, our nature of our consciousness, we always believe that there is a choice. That's why we feel certain times guilty. Guilt is only coming, we know that there is some other choice. When we feel that there is no choice, then what is the purpose of guilt? There is no purpose to feel guilty. But the guilt is natural, it come, but we need to observe the choice. More we resonate with our next choices, we can come out from the guilt. What is the best choice? Okay, I did that mistake, fine. Rather than holding on the guilt. Suppose uh, I hit someone with a hammer, and I'm guilty means in my whole life I'm not going to take the hammer even to for any other tool purpose. I'm not going to take hammer. Or suppose I write some big uh, what to say, I'll not poem, I'm writing down some criticizing, okay, a criticized statement I write down, and I feel guilty that I did something mistake, and I'm deciding. The guilt means next day onwards I'm not going to take the pen, I'm not going to write anymore. That is the nature of guilt. Is it good? It's only stopping our consciousness. People are guilty, they are stopping the consciousness. So rather than, we need to observe what is the other choices in that space. Okay, I can write criticize. Okay, next time I can write appreciation. Then a new creative choice is coming to you. You start writing appreciation note. Then that person also be happy. So there are so many new choices. That's called the truth. Our real truth means there are choices. And the energy amplification is needed. That is called syllabacy. Means whatever we are doing, is it amplifying my energy? Or is it depleting my energy? You need to observe. Whatever you are doing, whatever the inner voice come, immediately you are putting it into your practice. Observe, is this amplifying my energy, or is this going to deplete my energy? When it is going to deplete your energy, it is not an inner voice, it is a lower voice. Lower voice means we have a lower consciousness that is not unacknowledged. That's why it popping up for acknowledgement purpose. That's it. That's already I said about our lower consciousness natures are fear, fear consciousness, guilt consciousness, shame consciousness, grief consciousness, lie consciousness, and illusion. These are all the levels of consciousness, lower level consciousness. So that come, once that come, you just acknowledge it. Okay. And when there is guilt, where there is shame, everywhere there is a choice. Even the grief is there. What is grief? Grief means we are holding to that last moment. For example, suppose someone lose you, you lose someone. We only stuck in that last moment, that death moment, we are holding it. Grieving is needed. I am not saying there is no need of grieving. Grieving is needed. When we feel the loss, suddenly there are a lot of sadness come, we need to grieve it out last. But grief means we are holding only that last tragedy moment. There are n number of comedies happened in the background, in the history. There are a lot of good moments are happening. We totally denied all that good moments, not to cry it out, because when the good moments we check, immediately we feel sadness. But it's okay, once all the cry gone, we can nourish that good moments with that person. It is okay. That fear of losing, or that losing of grief and everything, is natural as a human being. In the earth realm, it is quite natural, because a lot of people, they enter into the spirituality, they denied this aspect. Grieving is not, I am spiritual, so I am not going to cry. I am not feel any sadness, because of I am so detached, I am a soul being. But as a soul being, when we come into the earth realm, there are certain relation, there are certain deep connections, deep feelings. That's natural, that is good. But more we respect our natural feeling, we never ever enter into a state of depression. More we accept our natural feeling. But more and more time we denied this natural feeling. So I'm sharing you three keys to open our heart now. Even Adi Shankara wrote a poem on losing his mother. Yes, yes. Adi Shankara also wrote a poem about losing the mother. Sri Rama cried at the time when he lost his father. It's there. There are n number of stories in the scriptures. Even why Jesus is a very higher master, but still he show pain. Why? He can't has the abilities. He is a siddha, but still when he feels pain, he show the pain, because in the body it is there. Body has certain bodily consciousness are there. When we are in the earth realm, it's beautiful. Thank you, Gaurav. So understanding. First, we need understanding. When we are in the lower consciousness, we need to raise our vibration. First thing we need is understanding only comes when we start refine the reasons, when we start go back to connect to the source of what is really happening. Suppose you feel guilty, immediately you go, what is the reason of that guilt I'm holding? It is okay to feel guilty. Then you connect to that very, very minute pieces of that guilt. Then you understand it, then you can release it. More you understand. But another key is, whenever you are working on yourself, be non judgmental, because most of the time we judge ourselves. Even we judge others also. I heard a situation where people judge someone. That person like to love everyone. I also have such incident in my life. I like to love everyone. Everyone is my friend, because in my space I can feel everyone equal in my very deep childhood time. But my friendships are misunderstanding in the life. When people are misunderstanding, what happened, that judgment is coming, that question is coming, what happened, for the resistance towards them, I started judging myself. That day onwards I started judging myself. I started judging. When I started judging, what happened, I stopped my expressions, I stopped my love. I'm not really showing my love to anyone. I stop my love energy. And who suffered? That's the question. Is the people who judge me suffered? People who misunderstand me suffered? No. I alone suffered in a long period of time. I never show my real sincere love to anyone in my life. And in with that thing, I keep on fail in love affairs also. Not big love affairs, only 2 to 3 situations come, but mostly one affair I completely failed in my college times. Then I realize, but still it carry for a long period of time. What is the remedy if you are really guilty? Yes, when you feel really guilty, that is the reason I'm saying. First, we need to be non-judgmental. For example, you understand your mistake, be non-judgmental. Guilt means we already know that there are a lot of other choices. So observe what are the other choices and understand the other choices and implement in our coming life, not in the coming next lifetime, the same life, coming moments. Implement it. So now what happened, once I understand my non-judgmental, because through that non-judgmental, what I hold is the guilt. Because I did some mistake. I love everyone is a mistake. I don't need to love everyone. I only love few people. So few people means there is possessiveness coming. So again, it is against the law of my soul. More and more I become possessive. More and more I am moving energetically down, and I am completely away from my soul consciousness. So one time, so what happened? So whenever I want to, yes, doing sins bring fear and guilt. How can we come out of the idea of sin and guilt? First thing we need to understand that there is nothing called sin. Who said there is sin? There is nothing sin in this world. God never created any sin. Sin is created by the human mind. Human mind created sin. There is nothing in the world is sin. First thing we need to understand that. Then we need to observe whatever we call it as sin, what exactly it is. Maybe out of your curiosity, maybe out of your experiments, some mistake happened. That's it. Some mistake happened. So, more you understand that mistake, there is another choice. Sin means we are not practicing another choice. We only practice one choice. We only do the action in one way. Suppose a friend comes to you, immediately you feel anger to that friend and immediately you close the door. Suppose you close the door in that move, you can feel like you did something sin. Because in India there is a saying called Aditi Devo Bhava. We need to respect the guest. But once we disrespect the guest, because it's an unconscious archetype or it's an unconscious generation pattern inside us. So once we disrespect it, what happens? Unconsciously there is a guilt come. So what is my choice? We can open, we can next time don't close the door that much sharp or that much strong. We can close the door little bit silent way, or we can close the door after he move away from that home. Then you can close the door. Even you can say no in a very compassionate way. It doesn't mean all the time say yes, yes, yes to everyone. Suppose a person is going to irritate you, say no, but very compassionately say no. Mostly you can't understand it. When you are Indian, I will share some advertisement. Maybe in another class, I'll share. I want to convert it into English. That's why. Once I convert it to English, I'll share you. So understanding non-judgmental. One more message. I guess sins were created by religions to enforce some kind of morality. That's why we have painful hells in Garuda Purana. Yes, definitely. Understand the sin concept is created for controlling the human. So it is only for the people who are in their first or second levels of soul ages. Soul age time, we people need some guilt, people need some fear. Then only we can manage the people, because the self discipline is less in human being. So more and more we evolve, more and more what happen, we become more and more self disciplined. Once you are a self disciplined human, when you are taking your own responsibility, actually there is no need of a sin concept. When you are not in a uh, disciplined human, when you are not ready to take your responsibility, then you can believe in sin. That's best option for you. Otherwise there is no sin. Okay. So understanding non-judgmental, and one more thing is unconditional. According to Rumi, there's a famous enlightened master Rumi. Rumi said about a um, statement about love. What is love? Love means unconditional. Whatever is unconditional, it is love. When you are saying that I love that person conditionally, then there is no love. Love itself is unconditional in nature. Love itself is unpossessive in nature. Because in love affairs, people are so possessive. The moment they are possessive, there is no love, there is only fear. The more you possess, more there is fear. All the relationship issues come from this possessiveness. There is lot of possessiveness. Even you are possessive towards spirituality, not for just relationship means relationship with money, relationship with people, relationship with your career, relationship even with God. Sometimes we are possessed to God. Sometimes we possess our masters. Sometimes we are so possessive. So that time there is no love. There is only fear existing. So more we possess, more there is fear. So the key to open our heart is first we need understanding. We need to open our understanding layers. For understanding, we really want to refine our reasons. That lesson is always important from the consciousness point, not from the earthly point. Earthly point is very easy to observe, but consciousness point we need to observe. Why as a consciousness create this? Why as a consciousness create me like this? Because I am unique. Everyone is unique. Why? We keep on judge ourselves. Non-judgmental is very important. We judge ourselves. Why I am crazy like this? It has its own purpose. I am crazy, that's why I am doing this class. When I am not crazy, I am not going to do this class. I sit comfortably in my home watching movies, serials, but I am very crazy. So I am doing this. So craziness is a good option in my consciousness. So never judge yourself. Non-judgmental. More you judge, your heart space closed. So stop judging oneself. Even you understand that yes, I am judging, then you go on to next option. What is the another choice? Another choice is non-judgmental. Okay? Then unconditional. More and more you are unconditional to oneself, because most of the people are conditional to oneself. We are so conditional. Suppose I live in this way, I love myself. That is a conditional thing. Suppose my body is slim, I love myself. Suppose my face becomes so chubby, I love myself. It's a conditional love. There is no love, it's only fear. That's not a self love. Self love means you are unconditional to you, but at the same time you keep on improve yourself, you keep on accept yourself, because as a human being, human is equal to error. There is an error all the time with human. That's why we need to learn through mistakes. When you are not did any mistake in this lifetime, then only possibilities you are not learned anything in this lifetime. You are just a lazy human, you are not doing anything. Suppose a person say that I am the right person in the world, that person is not doing anything. Nobody in this world is right. Everybody has right, everybody has wrong. Everybody is good, everybody is bad. Everybody is full of light, everybody is full of darkness. We are the whole. We are yin and we are yang. We are positive, we are negative. We are male, we are female. So today is Mother's Day. Means only for female. No, we are all mothers. Even a father, there is a mother inside. Even a mother, there is a father inside. Every male, there is a female. Every female, there is a male. Actually, our more interest is towards that opposite in us. That is our interest. We always love our own inner mother. More you love your inner mother, definitely you love the outer mother also. More you hate your inner mother, you hate the outer mother. More you love the inner father, you love the outer father. That's the way it is working. So connect to our inner, all the aspect. This is the space where all the polarities are vanishing. Hridaya Akasha, the heart space, is a non-judgmental space. Pure understanding means when there is good, there is bad. If you don't want bad, release the good also. When there is love, there is like, there is hatred. If you don't want that, release it, you reach to the higher space. That is unconditional bliss. You are moving beyond that. keep on transcending all these spiritual process. The purpose is to transcend. Our purpose is to not to create anything good or not to create anything bad. Our purpose is to transcend. That is the big picture of our life, transcending from everything. Once you are transcending, you aligned with your five principles. Then we understand the inner voice. What that voice? That voice is coming from your divine plan, your divine plan which you planned in the life between life stage. Then you can understand who is your friend, who is your lover, who is your enemy. Everything you are decided, and we are coming here and we start playing the role, we start acting. How much well you are acted, you get Oscar. So we are all wonderful actors. At the same time, we are all wonderful directors. We are directing our own movie. That's why it's called we create our own reality. At the same time, we co-create our own realities. We are co-creating it because we are deeply connected some or the other way. I hope a lot of you saw that lifetime, saw that images of Buddhist life. I hope in that lifetime even people shared with me that I am a small monk in that life. Later I am a big monk in that life. But in that life so many are participated. So why we again come here? Because we come here to enjoy, we come here to love, to share our energies. You are all sharing. One of your friend shared in a audio that live session is an amazing sharing session is happening. Yes, in recording also everything is same, but what we are sharing now, it's not in the recording version. That's only in this energy dimension. That's why we are here. So all that theories I am talking is connecting to share my love. I really want to share, and I only know in this lifetime to share my love is through teaching. That's why I'm teaching. To do meditations, that's my purpose. Okay, so each purpose is always valuable. Suppose a person is in a tea shop, he's making tea. He can share his love, he can share his divinity through making tea. It is also spiritual. So there is samsara is equal to nirvana means like that. We need to align with our real like, our real love. When you are a painter, completely be in that love. Don't think that all the teachers are big in spirituality and people who are in layman. There is a word always people said there is a layman. There is no layman in this universe. Everyone is spiritual. Everybody is spiritual. Only thing is conscious spiritual and unconscious spiritual. That is the existing. Some people are conscious. Now you are all conscious about your spiritual. But most of the people are still unconscious about their spiritual. So more you are conscious, understand that there is nothing demon in this universe. No dark force is going to come or hit you. Only your own mind is hitting you. Your own darker shadow self is hitting you. Doing sins bring fear and guilt. How can we come out of the idea of sin and guilt? Only through understanding. First, we need to understand there is nothing called sin, and there is guilt is means there is another choice. So we need to observe the another choice. Whatever we call it as sin, there is another choice in that space. We need to practice another choice. For that, we need to accept our mistake as it is. We need to accept that we are spiritual beings coming in this earth for human experience. So when we come here for human experience, we are ordinary being. We are mistake. We definitely do certain mistake. That's a way only we can learn. So we always call sin is a mistake. Suppose a child will hit some, break some glass. Is it a sin? Or we all the time call sin connecting with sexuality. Understand that sexuality is the most higher spiritual energy. Only thing, we need to redirect it. That's it. Understand that sexuality is a divine energy. More you understand that energy beautifully, then we never talk about the subject sin in our life. And when we talk about the physical body is a sin, that's not the truth. So it's a big subject today. We can do meditation. So understanding non-judgmental, unconditional. So more and more, whoever has this deep confusion about the Zen in their mind, today in the meditation, you ask your consciousness for the deeper clarity. How can a monk take a birth, sir? Definitely, all the monk take birth. Anybody can take any birth. Who said monk can't take birth? Even an enlightened master can again come here. Earth is a free choice for them, but they are coming with choice. And even we misunderstand that the monk is the last lifetime. No, there are again and again so many lives, so many things we need to learn. Because a monk is not in the middle paths. Monk always lack the middle paths. For the middle path, we again sometimes come. So it's a big subject. I'm not going to understand. Yes, as we understand, we learn to forgive ourselves unconditionally and make the other choices. Yes, wonderful. Great. So, so we can do meditation now. So whatever the confusions, whatever the questions inside your mind, in this meditation you keep ask for clarity, because more than me, your higher consciousness know the better answer for you. So your better answer always know by your higher consciousness and your higher masters. Okay. So trust your higher masters. Only trust your higher guides, your higher consciousness. That's the most important thing. All others are just for triggering you. I'm not counting anything sin. Okay. So no more questions regarding sin, because I consider everything is a learning experience. Okay, friends. So when you are ready, you can chat yes for meditation. Okay, friends. Now you can. Yes, now you can close your eyes, clasp your fingers, and cross your legs. Once you close your eyes, clasp your fingers, cross your legs, you just observe your breath for another 2 to 3 minutes. In this moment, I'm just singing a bhajan. That's a very Indian bhajan, but it is a non-religious and it can connect to all the gods, all that source energies. But in this time, you are observing your breath, your entire attention on your heart space. Your complete attention is only on your heart space. You're totally connect to your heart space now. The moment you focus on your heart space and connect to your breath, each time the breath is coming into your heart space, expanding, and each time the breath is going, your heart space relaxing. So, in the meantime, when I'm singing a bhajan, completely allow that music, completely allow that energy to go much deep in your heart space. Keep allowing it that vibrations, that energy I'm sending to you in through this music. Completely allow it and ready to experience as it is, whatever the experience comes to you. But you have a very deep intention for clarity, intention to know your own inner truth in each moment, and a deep intention to open your inner wisdom. So keep on observing your natural, normal breath. The breath which is coming to you, the breath which is leaving from you. Completely allow your awareness on your heart space. Heart space is a space between the diaphragm and the shoulder. Heart space is a space between the sternum and back of your spine. There is a vast space. This space is called astral space. Manomaya kosha. Astral body residing in this space. It's a vast space. It's an unlimited, infinite space where you can easily travel to different realms. Through this space, you can go to different dimensions of your consciousness according to your own soul evolution, according to your own current understandings, according to your own current state of emotions. You can travel different layer of dimensions through this heart space. So completely allow yourself to observe your breath. The breath which is coming, the heart space is expanding. The breath which is leaving, the heart space is relaxing. बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की. Completely attend your whole energy on the Akasha. Go much deeper and deeper beyond the language of the song. Only your attention on the energy. The divine energy is flowing through you. All the attention on that resonation of divine energies in this moment. Connecting and go much, much deeper in this moment. बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की. है रामा है रामा है रामा है रामा है कृष्णा है कृष्णा है कृष्णा है कृष्णा बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की. है अल्लाह 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 है अल्लाह. बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसूरी 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 शाम की. है जीसस 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 है जीसस. बंसूरी 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 शाम की बंसुरी 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 शाम की है बुद्धा 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 बंसुरी 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 शाम की बंसुरी बंसुरी.
Sir, you're on mute. We can't hear you, sir.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
In this moment, I am counting from 10 to 1. Each countdown, you are connecting to that real essence. That essence come in the form of a golden light inside this Hridayakasha, inside this heart space. 10. Completely allow your whole energy to connect your Hridayakasha. 9. You are stepping much more deeper and deeper to that very deep individual consciousness, your soul consciousness. 8. You are spontaneously drawing your whole attention. 7, 6. You reach to a golden light. 5, 4. That represent your individual consciousness in this moment. 3, 2, and 1. Completely connect to that consciousness. Completely connect to that golden light. Once you connect to that golden light, feel that energy is fully inside the golden light. When the breath is coming, this light is filling the whole Hridayakasha, giving a brighter light to the entire astral plane so that your vision is so clear. You can see clearly. You can hear clearly. You can feel clearly. Your deep vision deep listening, deep feeling. And every time the breath is going, you come back as an individual consciousness filled with so much of understanding, so much of non judgmental space, and very unconditional in nature. In this moment, as a consciousness, as a golden flickering light, undivided light, unflickered light, become more and more one pointed. That light slowly moving higher and higher from this heart space, moving higher and higher through this infinite space. You take a vehicle through the ether element, through the sky, through that ether. It is spontaneously drifting to the highest world of consciousness, supreme consciousness, where your higher consciousness is situating, your oversoul, your bigger version of you, your Purnatma. I am counting from 1 to 5. You reach to that space of Purnatma, meeting with your Purnatma, or meeting your real soul master or guide, whatever the form that Atma is coming to you, that soul essence is coming to you, accepting as it is, one, traveling higher and higher as an individual, unflickered light of consciousness. Golden light is moving higher and higher. Two, completely moving higher and higher. Three, simply like a feather is moving very higher with high speed. Four, stepping all the way higher to that space of consciousness. That space is infinitely available in this moment for you. Five, stay there. Meet your higher consciousness with a pure intention. I want to meet my higher consciousness. Whatever the form it comes, I am ready to accept. It can come in light form, it can come in animal form, it can come in any form. In mineral form, plant form, or a human form, or a godly angel form. Whatever the form my higher consciousness is coming in this moment, I am so ready to see that consciousness, to feel that consciousness. When you are so visual, you can see that higher consciousness. When you are an clairaud audient, you can hear, listen to that consciousness. When you are kinesthetic, you can easily feel that consciousness. Completely stay there. Completely stay and ask what you really want to ask. Completely seek your higher truth. Completely ask your real inner wisdom in this moment. Whatever which is appropriate for you right now. In this time period, what is the wisdom available for you? What is are the truth which is available for you? What are the truth about your consciousness which can integrate in this current moment, current life situation? Seek that guidance in this moment. Stay there. Your breath is completely helping you and guiding you. So totally stay there. Totally be with your higher soul. Be with your higher consciousness. Whatever the higher consciousness is showing you, whatever the world this higher consciousness is open for you, completely travel with that higher consciousness. Completely enjoy with that higher consciousness. Completely enjoy with all that spirit guides, masters, angels, whoever available for you in this moment. So be willing, be open completely from your heart consciousness. your pure consciousness in the form of golden light. When you want to show your physical form, you can show that physical form to that higher self. And you can seek what you really want. You can ask. And keep knocking that door of wisdom. Totally be there for another few more moments. Completely align with that vibration. Allow that vibration to intensify in this moment, so that your vibration more and more, the vibration is increasing more and more. You can easily travel in that plane, easily delve into that realms, easily journeying through this plane of existence. This is the higher plane. You can easily meet your soul friends in this space. When you are so ready, when you are so open, you have amazing mystical experiences for you. Last 2 more minutes, completely enjoy that realm, completely be there, accept as it is, allow everything with full of gratefulness, full of gratitude. Be there with that much unconditional humbleness. Be totally humble in that space, totally grateful in that space, with full of your gratitude energy. You are so ready to explore everything available in this moment. Whatever you are getting, completely satisfied with whatever is coming to you. A total contentment of yourself, a total appreciation from yourself. Appreciate whatever rather than judging as small or big. Appreciate it. Appreciate every subtle experience. 2 more minutes remaining. Explore it completely. Experience it completely. Immersed into that experience. Delve deep into that experience. Enjoy that experience. And connect to that highest world Shanti mantra in that space. A peace mantra. You connect to that space. That vibration can help you to go much deeper realm of that experience. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः all peace, entire peace energies, entire vibration, all that radiance. Last 1 more minute. You can dance with your inner energy in that space. In this moment, I'm sharing this song. You are dancing in that space with this energy of your true, real devotion from your heart space, devotion from your true individual consciousness. Serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. Serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. Be good, do good, be kind, be compassionate. Be good, do good, be kind, be compassionate. Serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. Serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. Be good, do good, be kind, be compassionate. Be good, do good, be kind, be compassionate. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om. Om Shalom, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shalom, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om. Last 10 seconds. Come back to your heart space. Pratyakasha as a golden, unflickering flame, coming down and down with a very joyfully landing down, very deeply down and down. Your entire energy is settling in the heart space, and from that heart space, all the energies are moving down and down, it connecting to the Mother Earth. Connect with that higher mother. Feel like you are with the Mother Earth. Ground your energies. Bow down to that energies. And one, completely ready with your physical body. Feel the body. Two, you are a divine immortal being. You are a co creator with the divine. This time, in this deep space with the Mother Earth, you know creation begins with thought. You know you create your own reality and you co create the reality. You know you are engaging the feelings. You know you create in pictures. You live in the moment with all the seven attentions, exploring the attentions, and you know that divine energy is flowing through me and not from me. Two, refining your reasons. You keep on refining the reasons. You keep on follow your inner voice, inner guidance. You open that heart space. You are ready to love. You are in that much giving to the love. Giving all the love to this life. Three, four, rubbing your palms, placing on your eyes, opening your eyes with a great smile on your face. Take your own time, very slowly, very gradually, you can open your eyes.